guy back in the old Twitter days, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, but me, because of my hidradenitis, I have about 50 to 60 active wounds on my body. So I was like, that feels like I can actually, like get away with that. But then as things do, you start podcasting and the brand picks up, and then it becomes like your brand, quote unquote, and people start referring to you by your name. And I had to wait, and I finally changed it this last couple months. But I've been thinking about it for a year because there are people that were started referring to me like as one. Anytime somebody referred to me as wow, I'd be like, it's wound, but like you didn't do anything wrong. It just is annoying. But people started referring to me as God, and I'm like, I'm not even religious, but that don't feel right. Like that just feels like I think too much about myself. And in general, what I like to do, like we just started talking about off record before, but like my alliance is about getting people into the game and teach them how to play the game and love the game. You know what I mean? And then they can go on from there. And it's what I do in real life. Like if I'm not like working on my business, if I want like a little bit more money on the side, or the season's getting tight, like I might do Uber or Lyft. But when I do that, I like continuously make sure that like everybody's safe. Like I let them get into their houses, which evidently Uber or Lyft drivers don't do. Like I just care for people like you're supposed to care for them. And then somebody was like, "Yeah, you're a good Samaritan," and I was like, "Damn, that's a really good online handle there." And had everything figured out, and then was like, "Why can't I get the handle Samaritan?" Like normally, pro tip: if somebody hasn't tweeted for 2 years and they want the Twitter handle you have, you can email Twitter and get them to take the Twitter handle from them. So I was like, "Why can't I get this Twitter handle? Like a guy with 400 followers has it. That's nothing." And Sylvester Stallone is coming out with or just came out with a movie named Samaritan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I couldn't get my hands on it. So I was like, okay. So then I had to go through and change everything to the SUH except my Twitch handle, which I'm still waiting on. And I'm like, why? Why Sylvester Stallone? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? I supported all the Expendables. I was here for you, buddy. This is what I get. But yeah, Samaritan is what I go by now. Or just Sterling.
Hell yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Excellent Interviews. For those of you who don't know, our guest is Suhmaritan, and joining us, as always, is JX. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I cannot complain, yo. My other favorite game, Destiny, just dropped King's Fall Raid, so I'm back to killing orcs once again. It's just a fantastic week.
That's awesome. I used to be such a Destiny nut. Oh my god. Seeing it come back is so cool.
You can probably see now if you actually go to the chat room. But my picture is me photoshopped on Callus's head. I'm not getting rid of that. Yes, I'm not getting rid of it. I asked my homie who does VFX work to do it. He's like, "This is gonna look horrible." I was like, "I know. Can you do it?" This is it everywhere on Twitter. Everywhere is it, and it's so dope. Like if you like playing Destiny, you will love Destiny now. But yes, we're here to talk about MCOC, the other game that I am also addicted to.
Hey, some of my band members love Destiny too, so it's kind of cool.
It's kind of hard not to. Yeah, it's like if you grew up like in our age bracket where you loved Halo, and then you watch the guys that made Halo now make a game where I can also change my character, have more personalization, and have like sick dance moves. Yeah, I'm in. Like you got.
Hell yeah, we almost had that with MRock, but R.I.P.
Yes,
that was a time, yo. That was a time.
But there's good news. We're getting some MRock in MCOC. What, this next month?
This month with Act 8.
This month, yeah, Act 8 coming into town.
I can't wait. I got a question. How are you guys going to handle Act 8, or specifically Act 8.1?
I haven't even started Act 7 yet, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna say this now because it's super easy to remember. I'm sure everybody either knows this by now or will get wind of it. 99% Act 8.1. Do not 100% it until you are close to getting your first Tier 6 CC, because you get a selector when you 100%. Mm-hmm. But if you just wait to 100% until you're almost at 100% on the crystal, you got your instant R5 right there. Yeah, I made the mistake of Act 6. I was like, I only had one 6-star, and it was Proxima, so I was like, I better get Cosmic. I mean, it worked out in the long run, because by the time I was ready to rank 6 somebody, like, Hercules entered my life, and life hasn't been the same ever since. Just the Hercules privilege is so real. Like me just talking to my wife, like, you just what do you mean? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have Hercules. You actually have to try and do this fight. I just mashed the right side of the screen, and then it says I won, and I walk away.
But yeah, man, how did you end up getting into MCOC, and what got you talking about it through the podcast?
So there was a person I used to play with. His name is Dane. We were close friends at the time, and he got into it off the rip. So we both did, or no, I think initially he was playing Marvel Contest of Champions. I was playing Avengers Academy. And Avengers Academy was a mobile game. There was no fighting or anything. It was just like collecting people and stuff like that. And I want to say we were sitting. It had to be maybe like 2014, maybe 15. And I was like, "Yo, you should get on Avengers Academy. It's fun." Like, look, I got Miles Morales, and he's like, "Yeah, but like I got Miles Morales. I could play with him." I was like, "What you mean?" And he shows me Contest Champions. I'm like, "Yo, that's cool. Like you're actually fighting with the characters. This is nutty." You know what I mean? And he's like, "You should get in." And I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stick with this," because I foolishly thought that it would stick around. It was to the point where I think that was the first time I ever got like a hustle job. I started doing Lyft just so I could pay for my what do you call it, Avengers Academy bill, because I refused to like let it come out of my real income and stuff. And then of course Avengers Academy shut down. And then I want to say it was 2016. I was doing press for San Diego Comic-Con. And I got an email from, because I get like all the Marvel emails and stuff because I like do like the Hall H stuff. But I guess because of like I don't get emails from Kabam, but it was a email they sent on Kabam's behalf because it was like all Marvel news and stuff. And they were like, come check out July, what we're doing in July for Marvel Contest of Champion. We have Heimdall and Red Skull coming. And I was like, oh, my friend might want to know about this. So I sent it to him. I was like, yo, like these two champs are coming. I don't know if they're good. He's like, yo, Heimdall's coming. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then I got in. I think that was the same month Gwenpool Goes to the Movies came out. And I got 4-star Killmonger from playing it. And then got 4-star Killmonger from the login crystal, which is the only time I've ever got the higher rarity from a login crystal. And stopped playing for a little bit after that because I was honestly in a very bad alliance that didn't have great leadership. And then when I picked it back up, I just ended up, after a while, my wife was like, you should just make your own. So we made our own. And it's called the All Knowing because the joke was, oh, you know everything. When, of course, all we're doing is the same thing all of us do, which is watch all the other content creators and find out the information. And then I got my wife into it, like right after. This would be the December, like 2016, I would want to say, gifting event. So I got her in. I got my cousin Momo, who is Cozy Cakes, who's part of the other half of the MCOC show, Speaking Wise. And we all started playing together and just having a shit ton of fun. And we did War for a little bit and then realized AW sucks. So then now we just do AQ, and now I think we officially named it like a retirement alliance just because we wanted to see what's going to happen with gifting. But we just like bring people in no matter what, like I was about to say light level because I play Destiny so much. But no matter what BHR you are, like you can come in and like I legit will hand you like a stack of paper, how to get good at the game. And as long as you're okay with asking questions when you die, you can stay in the alliance because it's just about getting better. So we talked about it a lot. But of course, it just, it was one of those things that our audience didn't care about too much. Like there would be a very small contingent of it because our name is gaming and then some. So it was always about, a lot of game news, except for Destiny, because Destiny kind of grew into the show. But like we called it, and we still do call it the TheMCOCShow because that's just what we called it when we started playing it. So like that's the name, but we obviously can't say that within the first 5 minutes, I believe, of a YouTube podcast. So we have to call it the MCOC show. And I realized that I wanted to do more with this brand, and MCOC doesn't really have the validity in the gaming community that it deserves. And there's a lot of games that are worse than it that have came and went. And it doesn't really have that audience yet on streaming or Twitch. And I think, honestly, with Battlegrounds coming up now, we know on the 12th, that's going to change. But I kind of just saw like this is the perfect time to get in. And I just planned on being the guy that, also delivered the news and did it more on like a once a week thing or once every 2 weeks thing, because I was only used to Rich the Man doing it and had no clue there was great people like you doing it as well. But now it's just all about, working together and having fun, popping crystals, and of course, saying everything's rigged. So that's just what I do now.
Yeah. Okay. So who are some of your favorite champions right now?
Honestly, so there's definitely different tiers for me, you know what I mean? So we got and not going into a tier list, because one day I'm going to get in that, and that's going to be like a 2-hour video that I'm going to put out, is like my official tier list. But Scarlet Witch Sigil is probably my favorite character to play at in the game right now, because of how unstable, she literally is. Like, just one S1 and then an S2 might do it, one S2 might do it, one S1 might do it. Literally, her looking at you sideways may make you explode. I love everything about her. She's probably going to be my first rank 4, even though I have an Awakened Diablo, because Diablo just does so much damage. I don't really feel like I need to take him up. In the Cosmic class, it would be Herc, obviously, but my heart of hearts is always Call Obsidian. He's actually going to be my first rank 4 Cosmic, because Herc doesn't need any extra block proficiency in stats, but Call Obsidian does, because his shield is made out of balloons. So I'm going to take him up to rank 4 so he can deal a little bit more damage for me. Also, my number one to the end of days for game playing is Magic. I feel most at home with her. She was my first 5-star. And best champion in the game, obviously, we talked about this briefly, but best champion overall in the game is Iron Patriot. He is just unstoppable. He has a receding hairline and made his helmet match his receding hairline, because he's that much of a... I think they call them Sigma males now, but I'm not sure. But he's that much of one of those. He's the coolest ever. So, yeah. I just love him. He was my first 4-star, and I won't give him up. He's so bad, but I don't care.
Yeah, so my first 5-star was Cable, and my second 5-star was Cable. I just took him up to rank 5 today.
But at least with Cable, you do have the Apox energy, because that was the thing. Like, I remember wanting Cable so much and being like, "Yo, he should be cool." And then even after I started playing with him, and he wasn't buffed yet, and I was like, he still is really fun. Like, I like all of his animations. Like, this seems great, and he seems like he seems like my favorite type of defender, which is an annoying one. Like, you really aren't sure if he's going to fuck you over with Power Flood or not. He might, but you don't know. And that's my favorite kind of defender. But I put him to R3. I think he was my first R3 before Apocalypse, because them tentacles come out, dog. I grew up in the days of Suncoast videos, and I seen tentacles do far worse things than what Cable does. But he's still the nastiest man on this planet, dog. I love him so much.
Yep, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. Iron Patriot's cool. He deserves so much to be buffed, because he was in the comics of the game.
Yes.
And he has an Infinity Stone, and he's like one of the main leaders fighting against Maestro. And I'm like, how does this guy suck in this game when he's like on the front, like he's on the front of the comics?
Yo, I'm gonna be real. I really love the champions we're getting this month, but now just thinking about what you just told me, it feels like Infamous Iron Man is just them not giving the love they could have gave the Iron Patriot, but I am okay with it, because Infamous Iron Man looks so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That I literally, I feel like we all kind of had that moment where we're like, not another Iron Man.
Yeah.
But then we saw what it was, and we were like, nah, never mind. Hold on. Don't worry about what I just said. We need another Iron Man. It's fucking awesome. But yeah,
is it Doom, or is it Iron Man?
It's Iron Man.
It's Doom as Iron Man.
Yeah, so it's one of my, because evidently in the comics it happened a different way. Like, he just won and became Iron Man, but in the MCLC version, Victor Von Doom is a good person and works with Iron Man until he, presumably dies, which is how it all works. You know what I mean? I just love the idea. I love the blast. I love him still having the cloak on through the suit, and also having the swagger to take his mask off when he's doing a special, just because he still has that much like. The only thing I can really think of it is like Vegeta, like bravado about him as a character, like where he just has to let you know, like I am that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I could just throw my special, but I'm gonna let you see that my blue eyes, so I can really stun on you before I do this to you. Like he can be meme tier. I don't care. My favorite new champion. Like I'm gonna play him so much.
Heck yeah. Yeah. So what about Titania? We've got She-Hulk and
Yeah,
Titania.
I am. Yeah, I'm so excited for her. I want to see just more of what she does, like her whole full kit. You know what I mean? When we get the deep dive. Um, the fact that I believe on Twitter we got official correspondence that the chair being used in her special attack isn't the official chair; it's another chair. So we don't know the lore behind that stuff, but just pure wrestling moves. I loved it. I love the She-Hulk show, and I really hope that Titania comes back in that outfit in the show. That would be fucking amazing. Like, I want full comic booky stuff in Disney Plus more, and it seems like we're about to go there with what we're seeing with She-Hulk and Titania. If they got any, usually from what I understand, Kabam doesn't get obviously too much insider info from the entertainment part of it. So maybe this is just them, like doing a look where they looked at old comics, or maybe maybe even there's a nod to it in it, just like syncs up that way in the She-Hulk show later on. But yeah, I am so hyped for both of these characters, and I hope they don't break the arena, but we already know what's going to at least happen with Doom for Iron Man.
Iron Doom, that's what we got to call him.
Yeah, Iron Doom feels right, Iron Doom feels right.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got what else we got coming out next month? Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battlegrounds. We can fight our friends now, hopefully.
Yep, we got the friendly 1v1s coming out the gate. They got rid of the energy costs, which I love. I'm just really happy the 1v1s happened ASAP, because this is what I want to Twitch MCOC for. Because I think like you might have seen me talk about in the passing, but I really want to do Battlegrounds tournament, but not with 5 and 6 stars, but only with 2 stars, because everybody's on the same playing field. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like we all got our spenders, but then it's just like, did you play the game? You know what I mean? Like, did you log in? Did you get the collector's crystals? Like, everybody has a pretty sick 2-star roster. Where a 6-star, we got 6-star rank 4s walking about, stuff like that. I can't wait to see just how much fun we can have on the grounds, as we call it in my alliance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm trying to settle beef this way. I'm gonna pick a fight with my cousin. Like, we got to deal with it in Battlegrounds. If we're doing incursions and I say go left and she says no, I want to go right instead, that means we got to settle it in the Battlegrounds. I'm happy they gave us this competitive 1v1 quicker activity to do.
All right, yeah, that'd be. I'll be excited to see some tournaments for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I know Vega announced one right out of the gate.
Yes, yeah, I'm so hyped to just even to watch the tournaments. You know what I mean? Like I hope they get big enough where they need people telecasting them and stuff like that. I know a bunch of great people that be good at doing stuff like that, like doing multiple stream viewing so we can call everything out. Like, it's Battlegrounds, I feel, is the shot in the arm that MCOC needed, just to get it back on focus, because honestly, over the last, I would say 6 to 8 months, they've been heading in the right direction. And only because I play Destiny, I know how bad it really can be. Yeah. That I didn't take it too hard on them all last year. Like, the moment that post came out, when they explained what happened with the input bug, I legit wanted to hug everybody at Kabam. Like, so y'all legit thought that y'all messed up. Like, everybody yelled at y'all, and it wasn't your fault at all. Like, it was your engine's fault for updating and not telling you. Like, that has to be pure hell. You know what I mean? And to take the initiative to make your own input refractor, as they're calling it, so we don't have to deal with this later on, and kind of just take a year of us beating us as the community, quote unquote, beating them up because we're still not confirming parries and missed indexes. To know that, hey, when this comes out, like it's going to be better than before, and that to kind of hopefully sync up with Battlegrounds, like maybe there not be too much overlap. I think this is really going to help out the community in towards growth and positivity.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I even heard that the Unreal Engine 5 is getting like an update. So I don't know if that means anything for the contest. I mean, now that they have the refractor in place, what could it mean for the game? Is really exciting.
Yeah, I think there's. So I think once everything's in place, it's just kind of like turning, basically saying, because from what I understand, it's a module, basically. So it's just like saying, hey, we're not using your touch inputs, we're using our own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what it is. But like, it's funny being like the reason the game broke was because it was so ahead of its time that Unreal wasn't thinking about inputs being put in that fast on mobile devices. That Kabam had to work around it, and then now just last year, or what, like close to 18 months ago, Unreal finally caught up to where Kabam was in 2013 or 14 is just nutty to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. What all do you have left to do in game? Have you completed your Labyrinth of Legends or anything in the Abyss?
No Abyss. Labyrinth, I've done, I think, one or two pass. I've done all of Act 7, didn't 100% 7.3 or point 4 yet. That's probably what I'm going to do next. And then I'm going to do 99% of 8.1 and leave one path so I can use my Tier 6 Catalyst selector when I need it and not when I just can get it as quickly as possible. Labyrinth and Abyss are both kind of just being they're just being treated as Karina's fodder for me. The problem being that I don't play and never want to play in a quote unquote high level alliance. So like I don't ever feel like I need like I need materials. So like I got my first ring 4, my second ring 4 is coming, my third ring 4 will be here by the holidays. Like that's cool. But like I'm just the Karina challenges, they'll get done. They're probably going to get done more for content than actually needing to do it, like like a reason for like background video on the MCOC show, more than like I actually need to do it for my account, because Abyss of Legends is outdated in my opinion for rewards. You know what I mean? Without Karina's, there's not really a reason to do it. Like I really appreciate the 6-star Awakening gem, but I don't need it that much. Like I still have my 6-star Aegon unduped. He'll get duped one day. It is what it is. Like I got more than enough champs, you know what I mean? So I think that's pretty much where I got left. And then of course the whole event quest. I have 3 days left to complete it 100% because I put it off the whole month since I think I told you guys before, but I got attacked with kidney stones out of nowhere, out of the blue at the end of July. So I was just laid up the whole August, just in my bed or in a surgery table.
Thanks. Sitting around playing MCOC.
Yeah, well, no. See, this was worse because they had me on pain medication, so I couldn't even play MCOC. I would just fall asleep with my hands on the actual like my thumbs in game, just dying in arenas while like BG streams just loop in the background because I'm on morphine. Like just every time, just so many times being like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna definitely check this out. I'm gonna do this. I gotta move up an AQ, and I would fall asleep like during the AQ loading. Like it was so nutty and annoyed me so much because like it just took the whole month out of me. You know what I mean? But yeah, my normal life, because I am disabled permanently, is usually sitting back and playing MCOC so much, and I get the affordability not to burn out on it because I have so much time. You know what I mean? But yeah, this last month was the complete opposite. Like I fully BG'd the situation. Like I will be doing everything within like 24 to 48 hours and not reading any notes, but it is what it is.
Good luck, man. Glad you're feeling better though.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad you're feeling better for sure.
Me too, man. It was nutty. Evidently, because of my pain, because I just walked in, I was like, like I think I gotta, I like my stomach's acted up something. And I just was like, I got abdominal pain, and they took me in to get a CAT scan because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and they came back like a half an hour later because it's supposed to take about an hour or so to figure out what the issue is. And they came back like a half an hour later, and they were like, "You have a 7 millimeter kidney stone blocking anything from moving on the left side of your body." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she just stared at me. She was like, "Usually, guys in your position are on the ground crying," and I was like, "It does hurt." And like she just kept looking. She just kept looking at me and just being confused. And I'm like, you kind of got to look at my chart to understand why I have such a high tolerance for pain, but it just is what it is. Like I don't like really frown in the face of pain like that. I just, eat it for a little bit. And she was like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna give you some morphine, and we're getting that thing out of you this afternoon." And they were like, "You can go home, or we can shoot lasers into you and break it down." And I don't know about y'all, but I'm a nerd, so I was like, "You can shoot lasers into me?" So yes, like I'm taking the yes. Like they're like, you can take this pill and then it'll kind of go away, but you probably need to come back in like 2 to 3 months, or you can just stay overnight and we'll shoot lasers in you, and then we'll just kind of pull out the broken up pieces. And I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Okay, cool." They were like, "You're willing to stay? We don't want to force you." I'm like, I'm already in a bed, morphined up. Just to give me more morphine and wake me up at 2 when the surgery is. I'm good to go. Like I've done so many surgeries that like I have my song that I always tell them to play before I go into surgery. I mean, like while I'm in the surgery, because in the OR, of course, they play music or podcasts and stuff. So I'll it was just another quick surgery for me, but it's been a very annoying month because of it. But it kind of gives you that fuel to the fire to like really get some adrenaline and really start burning through MCOC content to get you back in the game. Luckily for me.
Heck yeah. So you said you were doing some arena. Do you do a lot of arena?
For the past, I would say 6 months, I haven't. I used to really just be in the arena constantly. Once I saw the way 6-star features were going, or just a featured arena, I fell off it to a point where I kind of I really like playing the odds in the arena because it kind of does just feel like gambling to me to a normal extent, but almost like a fantasy football, if that makes sense. Because like we just had, for example, like who did we just have? We had Gallon and Quicksilver, right? And they both broke 300 million. I don't see there being a foreseeable way for the next champion to also break that, like just do that much, do that many numbers. Not like Iron Doom or anything like that. Just the next champion in general. So like for me, if it wasn't Torch, I would go for Torch if I had like the time and stuff, which I just did it right now. But like I think Torch is projected to go around 90 million. I could see him going for a lot lower than that, just because people are just so completely beaten and done with arena. That's when I slide into the arena and grab my champs up. Besides that, I just am like rank 3ing every champ so I can just infinitely streak the basic arena all the time. But yeah, I love the arena because it's something that I can do with my hands and it can help my ADHD. You know what I mean? But it's nothing I ever think about. Like it's turning a podcast on and then twiddling my thumbs like while I'm editing my own podcast or something.
Jay, you go over
there? Sure. I forgot to mention earlier the Suhmaritan name. What I like about it is it's actually the name of the first episode, The Good Samaritan, that Ghost Rider appears in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So every time I think of...
you're right. Yeah.
Every time I think of Samaritan, that's what I think of.
Shout out to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yo. A show that was just still one of my favorite shows of all time. Like, if you can... there was a group that I used to be on, like a group of people that reviewed the first season, and me as a person who, at the time, at least, was a Whedon fan, and knew that he could take a whole season just to explain character development to you, and then it was like season 2 where shit hits the fan. That Winter Soldier, the episode before the Winter Soldier, where we find out who Ward is, yo, just my god, yo, that Hail Hydra shook the whole entire East Coast of my Twitter timeline. And then just to be like, yeah, now we're going directly into Captain America Civil War, being even more hype for just the most, like, oh, like, why are y'all hyped that he rescued that guy? I'm like, because he's evil. They don't know yet. Like, just, God, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was so good. I still love Fitzsimmons there, my OTP. Like, it was one of the greatest shows. But yeah, now I have to go and, like, go get clips from that episode for, like, Twitter art and stuff like that. Because you're right. I totally forgot that was the name of that episode.
Yeah, dude, it's like my favorite episode in the show. I love the show. It was absolutely. Yeah, I remember Twitter too. Like every time, like that was one of the first times I was on Twitter watching the live tweets. That was blowing up.
Me and my boys, we would do either Dim Agents or Dat Shield instead of Agents Shield, just because that was the time when like hashtags actually took up space and stuff. So we needed to make them shorter. So like one group that we knew, like the biggest one we ever did was Dim Thrones, because Game of Thrones was just way too long. But it was definitely that just Agents of Shield. I don't know. I got a question, because especially from a person that's seen it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but like Dove Cameron does music now, and it makes really good music, in my opinion. Do you still kind of like in your head be like, but you cut Yayo's arm off, so I can't fuck with you? Because that's how I feel. Like her song "Boyfriend" is blowing up, and then she just had another song. I think it's I forgot what it's called. Maybe "Breakfast." Me and my wife just watched the video for it before we got on call here, and I was like, damn, she's killing. Like she found her groove and she's working it, but she cut Yo-Yo's arms off though. So like I don't got no love for you in real life. Like you an evil person, you know what I mean? Like I can't let that go.
That was definitely one of the oh shit moments in the show. I was like,
well, did you ever listen? Did you ever read what was it, Secret Warriors?
Is that the tie-in comic, or is that?
No, it wasn't a tie-in. So, no, it might have been Secret. I think Secret Warriors was. It was. This was when Nick Fury was still white, so that's how old this was. But it is the story of Hydra versus Shield, and Hydra being inside Shield and all that shit.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
With Fury, Quake, and the dude that played Lincoln. Except things go very different for Lincoln in the comic, because Nick Fury is still Nick Fury and he knew about Lincoln. But in the comic there's like this almost like ninja dude, and they all try to fight him, and Yayo's like, don't worry, I'm gonna get him, I'm fast. And she runs in, and when she comes back out, her arms just aren't there anymore and they're still just floating in the air. So I was like, oh, at least it was better than what happened to her in the comics, where it almost felt like a Yamcha Dragon Ball Z moment, where like we just looked back and she was just like, I got no arms now. It was like, at least here, like I was like, oh, once I saw the little swinging things, I was like, nope, it's a wrap. Those arms are going. We're just going to see how it happens. But yeah, you can still read it now and you would really like it. It's one of those things that lets you. You know how like there are the people that are just like, between Batman versus Superman, they just go Batman because they're like, Batman's superpower is planning, so he like that's what he does. So it's Batman. That's where you understand fully how badass and how much Nick Fury doesn't give a fuck. Like Nick Fury will ruin like his own life multiple times to protect this great world of ours, and I love him for it.
Oh yeah, then he even killed the Watcher, and like that was the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a wild dude, and I always wonder if we're ever going to get more Nick Fury-ness in the MCU, because Sam Jackson only has, I think, like 6 movies left, and I would also still like to see a young Nick Fury. You know what I mean? Like a young up and at 'em Nick Fury, kind of like the way you could at this point, I believe, pass the Nick Fury name around like they do James Bond. Yeah, Captain Marvel was great. I love seeing him de-age there. You know what I mean? But I would even be okay with like, because Marvel's not going anywhere. Like we all realize this at this point. You know what I mean? So like when we're in like phase 6, like at some point he's going to be doing less and less because he's getting older and older. I just want more like Nick Fury once that period ends. Like I hope that we can keep it going or something. Because the Nick Fury stories are so fun. Because it is that covert op stuff, but like just also the ruthlessness that you kind of get from the Black Widow stories, but at least on the Disney side, they don't allow you to see.
Well, I mean, we get Punisher and Daredevil now, so
can't wait.
Absolutely. Secret Invasion should be good with Nick Fury leading that.
It's going to be I feel like because I think somebody big has to die within the next 3 to 4 movies. I think it's honestly going to be Scott Lang, but God, Nick Fury would hurt. Like Nick Fury is kind of expected, but I feel like Scott Lang dying needs to happen just so people can stop saying, what is this? We're in phase 5 now. I think that phase 5 had no weight. They don't know what they're doing after Thanos. If you kill Scott Lang and take the comedy out the MCU and just make everybody sad with mutants, we're getting into a real emo Linkin Park era that I'm here for.
That's
We're gonna
fine.
do the death of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see what we're going to do next, yo.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that. Like I just made like some MCU like wallpapers, and they're all black and white. Because I was like thinking like the MCU just hasn't been dark in Phase 4, and I really hope Phase 5 really picks it up. And I miss the grittiness
nice.
of it. Like
I will
Daredevil.
be using all of these. Yes. My
Yeah.
favorite thing in the world, and I tell everybody to do this, if you have any newer phone with an OLED display, get a pure black background and it will change your life. It's the best thing ever when your whole phone screen doesn't turn on and it's just like one thing. Like for me, for the longest, it was just the Destiny tricorn would turn on in the middle, and that was it. But yeah, I love me a good wallpaper. Right now, mine is a Wakanda Forever wallpaper right now of who I'm guessing is Nakia, but we'll find out on 11/11/22.
Yes, I'm absolutely most excited for that project.
Yes, I am. Well, that Moon Knight one is sick. Yeah, same here. Like, I am so ready, especially because we followed the news so hard. Like one of our last official shows, because we actually stopped doing the main podcast because we kind of got bored with getting angry at everything. You know what I mean? Like the world was just so shitty the last like 5 years or so, and we really like the Chadwick Boseman. It was like, yeah, we're done. Like we're like that was like one of our final episodes, and we, of course, we did like a whole goodbye episode, but we said like, of course, we're just doing more premium stuff. And initially, I was going to make the MCOC show a premium show, and I was like, no, like this deserves to be heard by everybody for free. And I put it out here, and then things kind of like picked back up and everything. But it was the Wakanda Forever trailer deserves its own award in itself. But the whole every issue around Wakanda Forever has been very interesting to me. With, of course, Homegirl not wanting to get the vaccine, so they had to put the movie on shoot for a whole year. What is his name? Letitia Wright. They had to put it on hold for a whole year. And the only reason I think, because I'm assuming everybody noticed this part in the trailer, but in the trailer, I cannot remember Angela Bassett's name in the movie, but she says my whole family is gone. Why would she say that if what do you call it, still, if Shuri is still alive? She would just say that her son is gone, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, that definitely interested me too. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
like it's kind of like maybe the snap, maybe Shuri goes as well, but
that's what I'm hoping for. But like we're also kind of like, unless they're going back in time again,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
and
But like it didn't even, because like you give all those qualifiers. Like it could be the snap, it could be this, it could be just grieving where you feel like you have nobody because your son is gone. But I was like, what if they just straight up write her out this fucking movie because she was being too hard headed, and Disney and Marvel don't play that shit. And I like Letitia, or like Letitia Wright, still do. You know what I mean? She's young. Everybody makes dumb decisions and says stupid things when they're younger. It happens. Mine are on record on the internet. You can go find them. You know what I mean? But when you think about like who could run a Black Panther series after Chadwick Boseman, being that Chadwick Boseman so fucking hard all over that goddamn movie, you know what I mean? I don't ever see Letitia Wright as carrying that mantle, but I do see Lupita Nyong'o as carrying that. And she already is trained in the movie and is the reason he opened up Wakanda. I could see that final shot that we see being actually her in the suit and not Shuri, but of course it's thrown us for the loop. But on 11/11/22, everybody will find out. On about 11/10/22 or 11/05/22, I'm gonna find out, and then I will just disappear from the internet. for all those days, because then my DMs get filled with people trying to have me send out spoilers, and I will not do it. Just no, you will all feel the pain like I felt it when it happens.
Yep. All right. Jay, you got another one over there?
Yes. You watching She-Hulk?
Oh yes, loving it. She-Hulk is mommy. As a big dude, you know what I mean. I love a strong woman, and when I was in from that first trailer when she lifted homie into the bedroom, I think I like somewhere I still have the Photoshop of me being that guy smiling going into the bedroom, and I made it my wallpaper since I'm on like iOS 16 has the different backgrounds and stuff. I had that be like one of my wallpapers and shit, but it's been such a good show. The first episode was really, really unique to me, especially because I think it kind of gives a hint at where the final 3 episodes will go. As a person that feels a lot like Jennifer feels day to day, being that I'm constantly angry and I can turn it up and turn it down when I need to, which is, why I love podcasting and stuff like that, because I can get really loud and vivacious and angry and stuff, but it be an act, but I can still use that as a way to release stuff. But until you really learn the full name, and Hulk says it in the first episode, not giving spoilers here, dialectical behavioral therapy, you don't know how to really control your emotions before they even become your emotions. And that's what he tries to teach her when they're actually sitting there in front of the tiki bar with that big old binder. He says it, and I've been doing that for the last 2 years in therapy since my mom has passed away in 2019, but we just call it DBT. And I never decided to ask what it was. And then after the episode, I was like, yo, what are we doing? And they were like, yeah, it's called dialectical behavioral therapy. It's basically how to change your outlook on life so you don't get angry. And I was like, oh, okay. And like now I'm just sitting here like, all right, if that's what the show was, we could see She-Hulk is strong, but not stronger than Hulk. I feel like once she's able to hone that anger and get like the full Hulk, like the She-Hulk smash, which we know I think she does get in the season, because we've seen like trailers of her looking way musclier than she does now. I can't wait for her just to haul off and beat some people's ass, It's been really fun.
What do you think of the first appearance of the Wrecking Crew?
Yo, wasn't expecting that at all. I was not. I'm so hyped for it. I really was not expecting the Wrecking Crew to pop up, because I also, for information or context, I am kind of outdated on some Marvel stuff comic wise, just because of being disabled and stuff like that. But I just finished Miles Morales, or that's called. I finished Black Spider-Man on PS5 like 2 days ago on stream. I cried. It was amazing. Best game I played in a long time. But I like going through that game and seeing, kind of what they did with New York, and giving the group from the first game this other look that kind of resembles the Wrecking Crew from She-Hulk. I can't wait to see what this is going to do for the rest of the shows, and not just her show, because that street level crime and kind of having Kingpin and Spider-Man be at the peak of that high level crime is my favorite thing about the.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to see who they work for.
Yeah, I don't know who I feel like it's got to be Kingpin, because he's Kingpin and we know he's not dead. But
though,
no, he's absolutely alive. Come on.
Official comic book rule number 1: if you didn't see the body, they're alive. They yeah, right. And even then, it's especially with Marvel, it could not matter. But they intentionally hold that camera away and fire that gunshot. That way, they can show you, what do you call it? They can show you like that scene again, and then have them, kill her or something like that.
Yeah, and that's straight from the comics too. So like they're literally just using it and kind of go into.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's dope.
Oh yeah, it's literally straight from the comics, where she shoots him and it's in the eyes, and then it cuts to him in his chair with the bandages on his eyes. It's pretty.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, Kingpin is Kingpin. Like one of my initial you know how like of course you have your Twitter at, but then your Twitter name, and we would change our Twitter names all the time. If it wasn't Trill Coulson when Agents of Shield was on, it was what do you call it? What was it? Trilson Fisk is what I usually go by when I'm not doing Trill Coulson. And Trilson Fisk, like of course, all the photoshops of me on Vincent D'Onofrio's body just chilling in the back of the Escalade. And at the time, before I had a better handle on my anger through DBT, I was known to be very, let's say, hands-on in the way that Kingpin was. So it really worked. But yeah, I can't wait for Kingpin to come back. XN said he's lagging. So Jay, did you have anything else you want to talk about? We can just talk about how obviously you're the best interviewer ever. You know what I mean?
Back. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Okay, but wrong time, XN. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So if you could bring a type of content back, like EQ, a maze, like a celebrity challenge, what would it be?
Celebrity challenges feel like the easiest thing to me to say, because I feel like we would get maybe one of those every 3 to 4 months, maybe 4 to 6 months, depending on how the year's looking. And if we actually got some insight, like kind of like we did with the last one, where it's, like at least we're finding out what the people's, the celebrity challenges, what their favorite champs are, even if it's not, the best champs or anything like that. I think that helps bring a lot of new people into the game, which helps the ecosystem in general. You know what I mean? I would really love. Yep, there is White Mummy making me as Kingpin for what do you call it? As Jay just threw up there. But if it's not that, I would love to see the maze come back again, just to see how laughably easy it is in 2022. Like, just make 2 versions. Give us one that was what we complained and cried about all those years ago, and then give us a new hard one that is the maze all over again. You know what I mean? But I would definitely say, for my own entertainment and how I like playing the game, I think the Celebrity Challenge will be the right move.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully we get one this year too, because we do have 2 more MCU events.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Wait, 2 more MCU events.
We have the Wakanda Forever in November, and then the holiday Guardians of the Galaxy special for December.
Oh shit! Yeah, I always forget about the holiday special. Yeah, okay. Whew. I was definitely I already got thrown off. So I thought Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was coming out next year. So I quickly was like, because I already said, I actually said it during the actual party, but because there's no New York Comic Con meetup, I'm doing a meetup at the end of end of September at Amalgam Comics in Philly. I would be doing it later, but Amalgam Comics is closing down. Amalgam Comics, you might have heard it before, is the first Black-owned comic shop. It was the first comic book shop that made me comfortable going into comic book shops, because like that gif of Kingpin isn't pretty far off of what I look like in real life. So I immediately get looked at as if I'm going to either hurt somebody or knock something over and steal something when I walk into most comic book shops. You know what I mean? So like to go into that comic book shop, and the first question I got was, "Yo, what's your top 5 dead or alive?" I was like, "Oh wait, this is a comic book shop for me." Like I didn't know this. And it's where, like, we did our first meetup, like in 2016 with a couple people. But I was like, no, we got to send it off right. So we're going to do a meetup there. And then, the trailer for Wakanda Forever came out. And I thought we were on the normal loop of, like, we get a trailer 18 months out, and then another one 12 months out, and then another one 6 months out. And then, like, that final pre-order now trailer and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, yeah, we're definitely doing a meetup for Wakanda Forever. And immediately people were like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm there. I was at the last one that we did in DMV with movietrailerreviews.net. I was at the Cali one. I was at this one. We're definitely doing it. I'm like, sweet. Did not know what's coming out this year. And I was just like, okay, so I now have to plan 2 meetups within 60 days after not doing one in the last, 4 years. And luckily we got it done. We figured everything out. But my God, I was about to be completely scared if you said there was another movie coming out this year that I didn't know about. But yeah, I can't wait for the Christmas special. I need to see more of Drax and see whatever Star-Lord decides he's gonna do.
Maybe we get Mantis.
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to see some more Mantis. I really love the whole Guardians of the Galaxy crew. Like the one thing I will say, and it's because Chris Pratt does annoy me on a human level, that the what if of showing T'Challa as Star-Lord is the worst thing they could have ever done for me. It feels like if you ever read the Superior Iron Man, I think it was, or no, not Superior Iron Man, Superior Super Spider-Man, where Doc Ock takes over Peter Parker's body, and you immediately see what a good Spider-Man looks like next to Peter Parker, and it's like the Sinister Six is just wrapped up within one day. All of New York is taken care of. It's just all like not monetized, just like Iron Man, like to infinity, like Doc Ock's mind with Peter Parker's body, like just all the autonomous drones going around. Octocorp is just Oscorp is just doing everything it needs to do to hold shit down, and I'm just like, Peter Parker is out here struggling for his life on a daily basis, and you became this man for a day and showed him how bad at his job he is. I would love to see that kind of happen again with some future stuff. But yeah, that's basically what it is.
Okay, yeah, that sounds awesome. Jay, you got another one over
there? Yes. Okay. I want to say Chad actually won an Emmy for the What If, so that was like really cool that he won his first one.
Yep.
That was like the last thing he did, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the things. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about we got a quick update to the holiday gifting event. So I don't know if you have any thoughts.
Yeah,
on that.
I saw. My basic thought is good. I love the gifting. I as an alliance leader, I paid $30 for the permanent gifting badge years ago, because I loved being the guy that could, if you came in and was like, yo, the Grandmaster's kicking my ass and I'm all out of units, I could just flick you a couple revives, you know what I mean? Back then it was for the collector, but really was there as a leader to help people out. And of course, I never wanted people to pay me back, but if they did pay me back, they would pay me back during a gifting event where we all got a temporary one. But, folks took it out of hand, and then bots took it more out of hand. And the game desperately needs anti-cheat, but I feel like that's not something they're ready to really work on. And props to them for not having to work on it right now. I know Gabe said he's taking a vacation of the whole month of September, you know what I mean? I don't think they're trying to tackle anything big coming up. So it kind of makes sense that at least right now we got to stop the gifting event, because I definitely do think, as Musha said in chat, it brought alliances closer. It really did, you know what I mean? You became friends during the gifting event, you know what I mean? You got to find out also who was closer friends, just when they would just send you random shit, you know what I mean? We all had the people we sent dual credits to just because we wanted the higher score, and then it's the homies we sent real crystals to, you know what I mean? And that part does suck, but I like the fact that we can still send items, at least for the gifting event. And I don't know, maybe people won't now go get a second home loan to try to win at the gifting event. But I still think we'll see something stupid happen, because people like spending money.
Yes, they do. Yeah, Sunny Revive is going to be. I'm glad that that's there, because
that's what really took me down, was when they just said we're getting rid of gifting. I was like, come on, man. But they were like, you can still gift items, and I was like, wait, because in my opinion, they said, they're doing this way, so you can't have, you just send yourself a bunch of GGCs and stuff, and because you can get so many units right away. I still think it's kind of a good idea to have a secondary account just to send yourself a massive amount of revives. Don't worry about getting rid of gifting crystals. Send yourself a massive amount of revives and energy refills and stuff like that, and then blow through content if you want to during Christmas. That's something I could still see realistically happening. You know what I mean? And wanting to do with my second, or with my side account. My side account, if I haven't mentioned, is called Joe Fix It OnlyFans, because we got to keep it on theme. But I made my side account last year for the gifting event, and I still play it, you know what I mean? But it would be better if I could give my self-help, vice versa, back and forth, which I will be doing this year. I'm stuck on, I think I need to go to Cavalier on my side account, which I just didn't do because I just didn't care that much, you know what I mean? But like I could just send myself a energy refill here and there to keep myself going, and then in return send myself a couple of revives. That way, my other bigger account has stuff for Eternity of Pain because God knows I'm gonna need it because I am very mediocre at this game.
Yeah, speaking of Eternity of Pain, did you fight Modok yet?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna do it tonight.
Okay, who do you plan on using?
I don't even know the nodes, but I'm gonna use Iron Patriot. No. I'm a pro. I honestly thought about doing that once. I thought about doing that for the meme, which was like doing the whole ELP with just Iron Patriot, but I don't have it. I don't have the mental fortitude to do that as a meme yet. But probably Masacre. It looks like I've been seeing a lot of videos with him come out, and I have him, so I might use him. And if there's any like good suggestions you guys have got, I am definitely down to hear them because I probably might have the champ and just didn't think about it.
No, Massacre was who I was gonna say. So
nice, perfect. Okay, cool.
I used Black Widow Deadly Origins.
Ooh, that's my baby area. I think I R3 heard like 2 months ago. I don't have her awakened, but of course you don't need to. But just such a fun champ. Just such a fun champ.
Yeah, I just got the awakening on her like a couple weeks ago, and before then I had already had her at rank 3 as a 6-star. So
yeah, she's one of those champs that, in my opinion, will let you know what kind of AI you're fighting real quick. Because when you get that real aggressive AI, she is just a blast to play. Just getting those intercepts off like constantly, just backtrack. S2, let's go. Like it just feels so good. And then the second time you try to go up for that backdraft and they're just blocking, and you're like, oh, this is where I get punched in the face now and die. Like, God damn it.
Yep. It's a high risk, high reward.
Definitely. I'll be taking both of those options to take a look at. Obviously, my or Deadly Origins is at rank 3. My Massacre is, I believe, still 125. Do you guys suggest recoil masteries for the fight or no?
I didn't have them.
I don't have them.
Okay, cool. If I do have them, is that a bad look?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go in while we're doing this, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Jay, you got another one over there?
Yes, we had 8.1 being revealed with the boss being Citalis from Marvel Realm of Champions. What do you think about that?
So fucking dope, yo! Like this is the stuff I loved from Realm of Champions, but didn't get to play just because I didn't have time doing too much podcast stuff. I really wish, I think we all kind of wish like Realm of Champions got a better shake. It just wasn't what it needed to be, but I'm loving seeing that stuff finally come over here. I would love to play as Citalis, but I do love the fact that she is so utterly terrifying with those specials. Like there's been a very long time since specials made me clutch my pearls the way CGR got beat up. And I was like, I don't think I'm ready. And hopefully she can be power drained. And if she can be power drained, my magic will come back out the closet one more time and we'll show them what she's good for. Like, it'll be the same thing all over again. But yeah, I love the look of it.
Yeah, it's a really cool fight. So you will have hopefully a good time doing it. And she looks absolutely amazing. And this is just the first Emerald character. We know so much more are coming, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, Jay, you just made a video speculation, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah, we obviously, if you've seen the cutscene, you'll notice that, hey, there's Black Widow, there's the Hulk, there's the Punisher, and then the head of the Chrono Serpent. So all 4 characters could absolutely be the 4 bosses of Act 8.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. We were going to go with some kind of like some kind of theme through all of Act 8.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Why is Black Widow this good, or why is this fight this easy?
Black Widow is that good because he's not auto blocking while the what is it called? The Widow's charge is active.
Yeah.
He won't auto block if you intercept him, he just won't be predictable.
Yeah. So 81 hits. didn't read the nodes and took 400,000 health off. Oh my god. Yeah, so I'll just do that later on. I'm not even going to revive. I'm going back in full health and doing that. That's
It took me a
that
couple revives, but I got it done.
yeah, that fight right there is why you get a Black Widow, because that was nasty. Like, I had to straight put the phone down because I was like, I will stop talking to y'all and forget this is an interview because she is just going burr right now. Like,
Yeah, she goes pretty ham.
Yeah, it was nasty. Oh my god, that was. But yeah, I can't wait for Satalis, and I would love to see them do the same with 8.2, 0.3, and 0.4. So what is this now? This would be Book 2, Act 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just say Act 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Act 8. Like, they need to. They can, like, the thing is, like, I wish they would learn this one part from Marvel. You can retcon shit at any time, guys. Like, you can just say we fucked up. Like, we don't need it to be called Act 7, also Book 2. Like, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, you could just take it out, and if nobody would bat an eye because we all are going to call it Act 8 forever, and then we'll only know the new people. It's almost going to be a way. What'd you say, XM?
I was gonna say they had to make it easier to change in between the books.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, that's a great part, but also in a way kind of lets you know when a person asks you a question how new they are to the game now. You know what I mean? Because if somebody's like, "Yo, I'm in Act 2 of Book 2. I need help with this," you're like, oh, "Okay, like you're newer. You're making pretty good progress too. Like, but you're newer." When they just say Act 8, you're like, "Ah, yeah, you've been around these parts." Like, you know, like they got the one node that's like Flare, but it's like Super Flare. Like, are you? You're not even naming nodes correctly. You've definitely been here for a long time.
Yeah. So what else is there, Jay? What else do we got?
Okay. Well, I will say you did say if we could get a Satalis, we just I noticed that she's a skill character, not a combined or universal character. So that maybe there could be a chance that we actually could get her. I would be interested. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, we can't do Legends runs anymore, which is another reason why I want anti-cheat in the game so we can get Legends runs back. But that would be amazing if like the Legends runs characters were the bosses.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of was a thing with what King and Ultron
with Thanos. Yeah,
Thanos. Yeah, in the back in the day. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I really hope they figure it because like I mean it's just anti-cheat. Like everybody has it now in games. It's just that this game is so old. It was before anti-cheat was a thing. But I'd rather the game feel good and work good before we worry about anti-cheat. And as long as they're still keeping the data on everybody that's cheating, it kind of makes everything easier in the long run. And I'm hoping by this time next year, we're not looking at 300 mil arena scores. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Absolutely.
All these big ass 4-star or rank 4 6-stars. That's what's pushing the scores up.
And now it's soon to be rank 5.
Yeah, rank 5's coming soon enough, man. Like, did not expect to see that. Like, did not expect to see that out of 8.1, but I'm happy to see. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that more than 7 stars. I'm still really, really excited to see what relics are going to be. Yeah, I'm really happy and excited to see what the future contest holds. That sounded so commercially, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a question for you. Are you interested in being part of the TCP? Is that something you've looked at?
Yeah. So we haven't applied yet, just because I tend to overdo my applications, like because we thought we weren't going to get into San Diego Comic-Con. You know what I mean? And we sent them a document that was roughly every podcast fully listed, and I think it was about 1,000 links in a Google Doc. And we got in on a 3-year pass because they were like, you guys are consistent. Like, you're who Comic-Con is about, the small people. So I have a feeling that I could get into the CCP. We haven't tried yet. I'm probably going to try towards the end of this month or so. It's the main reason we also did the MCOC show. Because knowing, like, you know, of course you can just go to the Kabam forums and see what the rules are for the CCP. And one of them is that, you know, I believe you need 3 or more videos or things basically talking about news in the game. And technically we did that on our old show, Gatspod Gaming and Then Some. but I wanted something that was also just labeled MCOC to give them as well for easier listening. And we're just going to apply, and hopefully we can get all of us in. But if not, I get in, that's cool too. And we could at least, start talking about these champions from more angles than just Alliance War.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kabam Thal, before he left, when he came on the show, he was like, "Yeah, if you guys do podcasts, please, like, we want to see that, because like there aren't that many podcasts in there."
Yep.
And X's still not in there, which is surprising. Like, so I will. We'll hopefully still get an answer on that.
If I get in there before you, I'll put a brick between the door and the wall, and you could just slide in with me.
So people are joining the CCP, so it's not like it's closed off or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely
not. It's just slow. They'll kind of had it before, and I think Mike has it now. So we'll hopefully.
And Mike already has so much on his plate.
Yeah, and obviously he's teaching flannel jacks. You've obviously heard about being on the forums, so. It'll be pretty cool to see. I'm sure it'll be worked out, everything like that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everything that's going to happen with it. Like, it's one of the things I really like. Like, the CCP was one of the things that made me like look at this game and be like, okay, like this, like they actually care about their actual consumer base in a different way. You know what I mean? Because like, I love Destiny, but Destiny doesn't like Destiny shows you stuff early, but you don't really get to play it early. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even with when after this is the old Destiny lore, but in D2 Year 1, Curse of Osiris brought that game to its knees, and it was some of the worst content the game had. I loved it as a Warlock main, but it was still not good content. And after Warmind came out, the game was looking better, but still not there. And then Forsaken came out, which is where we murdered Kate 6 as he should have died because he sucked because he's a hunter. And that was, hey, look, I'm gonna just be real. Why need tether? If Cade is that good, why the fuck they need tether? He could have threw a tether down and killed everybody, but he didn't. He's a bad hunter. He deserves to die. But you know what I mean? I
disrespect.
The absolute disrespect. You are completely right, yo. My Vanguard leader is alive, and yours is. That's all we have to look at. But they actually flew out a bunch of content creators to show them Forsaken and show them Gambit months before, and it would be like if you just like one day, I think actually Kabam was planning on doing this right before COVID happened. I remember Brian Grant talking about like he was planning on coming up there and stuff. But like if we all like woke up one day and like us included, but like you saw Kabam Mike make like a little vlog video of him doing stuff on the side, as well as like Karate Mike and BG and Legacy and Seaton and Killer BZ, all these people just showing like not even saying what you saw, but just saying that you're happy or your expectation for the contest in the game because of what you just saw does so much. But the fact that they let us like actually see the stuff is wild, because I remember like when I think it was Human Torch when he first came out, everybody shadowed Human Torch, and I was like, there's no way possible that Human Torch is a bad character. But I think it's just that people don't know how to play him yet. And then Seaton went and did a second playthrough with the character, I think like going through Act 4, and he realized that he should be holding the heavy to keep the smolder or to keep the temperature up. And then that's when it all clicked for everybody. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to just start watching these videos a little bit differently. Shout out to Karate Mike, who really breaks it down. You know what I mean? It doesn't really try to give too much opinion. Just gives like, like we'll say like, of course, don't use the champ for this or that. But really, in my opinion, just says like, this is what the champ does. This is what the champ is good at and isn't good at. And then you can make up your choice for yourself, watching stuff. I can watch their videos as well as other people's videos and then be like, okay, like this champ actually works. I know the community might not think like this champ is really that fun, but this champ is like right up my alley with the way they fight and stuff. And that's what I'm really excited to be in the CCP for, like to talk about like, is this champ fun for incursions? Is this champ like, can you carry a person for 10 rooms while they're dead in incursions with this champ? Or are they just like fun to bring in a little bit? You know what I mean? Is this champ going to be the new Apocalypse in Arena? Can we get the real questions that we need? Because I don't care about AW. But when I see Doom and Apocalypse and Nick Fury on the same team as rank 4s in Arena, I want to have a genuine discussion with the person that put them in the arena and ask them who hurt them in life. Because that's just not necessary.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the updates and stuff. What are your thoughts on Ant-Man's new buff?
I haven't seen too much of it. I know that he is going to become way more prone to dealing out debuffs. As a person with a awakened 6-star Ant-Man, if he's good, I'll rank him up. Never expected this to happen. Didn't want him to even get ranked up. I didn't vote for him. I can't even remember who else was in the poll, but I definitely didn't want Ant-Man to be the one to get ranked up. But he's getting ranked up, so cool. This is me not being negative. That's the best I can say. Like, it seems good, and I am happy for everybody involved. But I just don't care. I did not want Ant-Man, but if he's good, I will use him, of course. I will not be mad, but other champs could have got that buff other than him.
Who did you vote for? He got second place, so Guillotine won it. Jane Foster was in it, Joe Fixit, and Kamala Khan and Agent Venom.
I think I voted for Guillotine, now that I think about it, which hurts even more because I remember in my head being like, Guillotine is already a really good champion. She just needs a couple tweaks and she'll be stupid good. Like, because like I had her at SIG 200 as a 5-star, and that amount of health regen was nasty. And then when I saw her rework, I was like, oh, this isn't what I wanted, and I regret everything. But Agent Venom was definitely another one, but Kamala Khan was my biggest one, just because I love Kamala Khan. I'm from New Jersey. I rep this shit all day, every day. So Kamala Khan is my baby. And I'm not Sweeta. So I can't ever be that good with Kamala Khan as he can, to the point where I even just had her pop up in a 6-star Nexus and turned her away for somebody else because I was like, you know what? It's not my time. I don't have Sweetest thumb, so I'm going to just let it sit to the side. But Ant-Man, I think Ant-Man needed the buff, don't get me wrong. It's just that now, like, the synergy team is so nasty. It kind of feels like I would almost be stupid to not use Ghost, Wasp, Ant-Man, and Odin, and then, like, throw Hood on the team. Because 3 of those champs are amazing, and 2 of those champs are really good. You know what I mean? Like, there's no... I appreciate that there's no bad person on that synergy team, but I'd rather us look at, like, other big synergy teams like that and make other people good in them. Mainly, can we just really do something about Iron Patriot? Look, this is what I'm here for. And this is the whole reason I started the podcast and bribed XN to have me do this interview so I could talk about the fact that we just need to buff Iron Patriot to ungodly amounts of America. The good parts of America, not the bad parts of America, but just I need more explosions, more fireworks, and he's the best champ. So you know what I mean?
Buff with the new Iron Man.
I think we could maybe see a synergy, possibly. But I think honestly, at this point, we could probably just be waiting maybe until Spider-Man 2, because the end of Miles Morales' Any Dictation, we know what's going to keep happening, and if they play through the whole story, Norman Osborn will become an Avenger in that world somewhere, you know what I mean? It might already have happened in the Avenger game, or they're planning on happening it in the Square Enix Avenger game, which is surprisingly in a good spot right now, really good, but just dead because of its initial release.
Yeah.
But I would love to see just a complete revamp of either him. I want a rework of him, and I would also like a ability rework of his S1 and S2, just because I really think Black Bolt's S1 and S2 fit him more, and Iron Patriots can be switched out way easier, you know what I mean? And I just really don't like when 2 champions have the same specials like that. But yeah,
and
I would one day hope for it.
Yeah, and Kabam have actually said that when new animations are usually going to people who have duplicate animations. So
exactly.
I really do hope Iron Patriot next year.
I just took mine to rank 2. He's about to go to rank 3. Just so because, crazy. just off the sheer strength, you know. When I put it out, it'll be a quick Twitter video. I already did the rank 2, of course. I thought about making him my first rank 4, but I don't need to, just because now the talk around rank 4s has died down. But there was that minute where you almost got talked down to if you picked the off champion, like you didn't pick the meta pick, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I was like, I really should just rank for this dude and just have everybody in the subreddit just go into a complete frenzy because I just played the game how I wanted to play it. Like, well, I may never even use them, but who cares, dog? It's my rank up. That's
Yeah.
all that matters. I want people to play this game. And like my wife, she loved horrible champs for the longest, and all of our horrible champs have now become good. And then, of course, she also loves Archangel, so her favorite champ is also a great champ. But, like my homeboy Pug, shout out to him, he was a Joe Fixit fan from day one. He just knew the champ was garbage. And, he got his buff. And I'm like, yeah, we all deserve it. So I'm just waiting on my Iron Patriot day.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Iron Patriot, get this man a buff.
Seriously, yo. I'll put it on record here. I have enough hair left that if they give Iron Patriot the buff, I will grow my hair out to the receding hair wave that Norman Osborn has.
You gotta get
like,
the fades too. the
oh, no, I
waves.
will. I'll do it all. Yeah, I will do it. I will do it 100% all, yo. Like somebody just said I got talked down to because I took Ant-Man R4. Yeah, see, you should be able to rank up whoever you like. You know what I mean? Like, luckily, my first 5-star was Magic. So when the person that was my alliance leader at the time was yelling at me to rank her up, it didn't, throw me off or anything. But I always played this game because at the end of the day, it's a card collecting game. You know what I mean? Except we get to play with our cards. You know what I mean? And you should be able to like who you want to like. And even if you see value, like I took Hulkbuster was my first rank 3, and I rank 3'd him before his buff because I knew his buff was coming. And people say, like, oh, are you sure about this? And I was like, nah, but I'm pretty sure. And Hulkbuster best champ. Like, he's my baby. That uppercut is just warms my heart. Like, the amount of people I've S2'd in the uppercutting into oblivion has been life-changing for me. So, yeah, I'm definitely hoping we get the same look with Iron Patriot and the other champs.
Heck yeah, same. There's a lot of the older champs that still need a little bit of love.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, you got anything else over there?
I don't think so. Is there anything you'd want to plug that we're getting about like an hour and 20 minutes in?
Yeah, I can type a couple things into the chat real quick. So the first thing is our Patreon, patreon.com/Gatspod, GATSPOD, stands for Gaming and Then Some Pod. That's where you can find everything before it comes out, as well as other things that we do, like when we do interviews with, like, of course, I plan on interviewing you guys. That will be on there, and then sooner or later we'll hit the free feed. But everything comes out first on there, and then we also just do different things. We have what's called the And Then Some, which is just really, that's where we talk about more day-to-day stuff, because we're not a place that is, our podcast isn't a place where it's, no politics, none of that, or any of that type of thing. But we also still understand that people come to places to get away from certain things, you know what I mean? And we wanted the MCOC show to be a place where you could escape and just think about MCOC and have fun, because life in the real world is shitty enough. But being that we have certain things we have to deal with in real life, we brought back the And Then Some to really just yell into the void about how shitty the world can be sometimes to certain people, or just, laugh about good stuff. Like, we definitely will be talking more about Megan Thee Stallion on on our next And Then Some, because I don't know if you guys saw the whole thing, but like Tatiana Maslany, she did not even know Megan Thee Stallion was going to be in the scene until 3 days before the scene, because she knew nothing would get done. The director knew nothing would get done if she told her offhand. GamingandThenSome.com is where you can find all of our stuff. That's the main website. And you can also do soundcloud.com/Gaspod, and that is where you can find every single one of our podcasts that is on the free feed. It's about 600, like 500 to 600 tracks, a bunch of old movie reviews. Some of our takes were wrong. I still have the best take of all time, which was that Poe Dameron and Finn were gay for each other, and I refuse for it to be believed any other way. I went down on a sinking ship, like on the Titanic, blazing, saying, "No, he touched his elbow, so they love each other." And then nothing happened in The Last Jedi. And then we had to do that review. My wife was like, "So, it's been some years. Can you admit that you were wrong?" And I was like, "I'm not wrong. I refuse to admit that I was wrong. I saw the way Oscar Isaac looked in his eyes." And now, after watching enough Oscar Isaac's content, I just realized that Oscar Isaac just looks at everybody's eyes like he's going to have sex with them. And that was my fault. Like, Oscar Isaac is one of those dudes that will just walk up to you and say hi. And you're like, damn, I definitely didn't know I was coming out at 35 years old, but I guess I'm coming out and I'm marrying Oscar Isaac. You know what I mean? But yeah, so
they both said they want that. Like they actually both say it's canon. So
yes, that's my favorite part. Is like that they say it's canon. Is why I won't end it. My wife was like, "But no, it's not." I'm like, "I don't care, dog. I don't care." I'll start. Of course, me and my wife both black. I'll still yell at her, like, "Oh, what? So you don't want to listen to a black man now?" Like, just start automatically bringing anything I can into the conversation because I love the Poe Dameron ship so much. But yeah, I think that's all of our stuff. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Suhmaritan, SUHTARMITAN, I believe. And you can find me on Twitch at Suhmaritan as well. But it's Suhmaritan spelled the normal way. I'm about to put it in chat with 5 underscores because I can't change my name yet. It is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Of course, it doesn't do that right in the light. Thank you so much. That is me. That photo, actually. I just thought of one more thing I can share. I did a short movie back in 13, 14, about my disease, hidradenitis suppurativa. I will type that in chat so people can know what it is, because I know that's a lot of words, or a lot of syllables. I just said it once, and it does sound like I called you a cuss word. It feels like a cuss word, so don't feel bad. This is my community that I made almost a decade ago that now has 20,000 people in it that I help take care of and get the mental and physical support they need. And no BS about HS. Okay. And now I just have to find this. I believe it's this page. On this page, you can link them to that as well, I believe. And it should have, it should just say Sterling Story about halfway down. And you can link them to that as well. You can see me just looking all jaunty over there. They have me take the podcasting.jpg picture with my podcasting stuff. But I think that's everything. Of course, if you want to buy me a calf crystal, $gaspod on Cash App, of course. And I think that's really about it. I thank you guys for having me on. I can't wait to interview you in return and learn more about people that are deeper into the MCOC scene than I have been. And I think that's all that I have to actually promote.
Awesome.
Thank you. I put that all in my chat, so anyone can see it. As Exon's lagging.
Yeah, Exon is getting sent into the multiverse.
He just turns into a robot sometimes.
Yeah. This is so heartwarming for me being on the guest side and not the host side finally. Because I know right now, like I think Exon is probably at the point right now where he realized it's not working anymore, but still possibly panicking. Okay. Nope, you're not back yet. You're still in the quantum zone. This is the audio hell that content creators live with. I feel for all of us. Like every time somebody asks BG to do some new sort of thing, I'm like, no, I feel them. Every time he's like, no, I'm still working on the thing. I'm like, oh, he's probably still working on that thing. Because sometimes the thing will just take it's Is he like? Is that just past audio, or can you still hear him in the background? Because like,
yeah, I can hear him.
I feel like he's trying to give a beat to freestyle too, and I appreciate it, but I haven't rapped in 10 years. Does XN's recording?
There it is.
It's Craig, so he can just hit slash stop.
Okay,
whenever.
cool. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure that's nice. I gotta hit y'all up about Craig because we tried to do what?
Oh, Craig just left, so the recording just ended.
Oh, okay. I thought that was my security system real quick. I was like, hey, yo, like why was that so loud? But yeah, we use Zencastr to do it, and it does effectively the same thing, but without Discord. Like it just like you connect to it. Like you'll see it when I send it to you when we do ours. But like it, like if you want to do video, we click do that, and then it just record your audio, then sends me your audio the same way I'm guessing Craig does.
Yes.
So you get the best sounding audio, because back in the day, and for the longest, we were just doing through the mixer, and it's why like you'll see in the Patient Stories profile, in that picture, I had that big ass mixer that I was using up until this past December, before I found out digital mixers were a thing. Because I would just like line in everything through the mixer and then line in everything out through the mixer back into Audacity, not knowing that Streamlabs has really stepped up their stuff since